Friends, today we are going to discuss about shares issued at discount and forfeiture of shares. Till date, we have solved many problems on the topic issue of shares. We have also seen the shares issued at par, shares issued at premium, as well as we have seen the problems which include calls in arrears and calls in advance like adjustments. Now onwards we are going to see new types of problems which will include shares issued at discount, the shares which are forfeited, and the shares on this basis. Then onwards we will discuss about reissue of such forfeited shares. After discussion or after theoretical discussion on such points, we are going to again start solving the problems including such type of adjustments. So before seeing the practical problems, there is a need to understand this concept and the procedure of generalizing the same adjustment. So today in this lecture, we will cover only the theory part, and in the next lecture, we will see the problem based on such adjustment. I, Dr. Supriya Sogule, welcome once you again in the lecture series. Now we will see the shares issued at a discount in a different view, or we can say in a detailed way. There are some restrictions as per Companies Act. When a company decides to issue their shares at a discount, there is a need that they should follow some sort of conditions and restrictions. We know what is meant by shares issued at a discount. Shares issued at a discount, that means less than the face value of the shares they are issued. That means if the share is of rupees 10 each, then if it is issued at 8 rupees each, then it is discounted because its face value is reduced and they are issued. Okay. So this is what shares issued at discount in the last lecture we have seen. As earlier I have told you that there are some restrictions as per Companies Act regarding shares issued at discount. So first condition is shares can be issued at a discount must be of a class already issued. So this condition should be followed. Issue must be sanctioned by the company law board. Not less than 1 year must at the end of issue have passed since the date of commencement certificate. Next conditions are it must be authorized by ordinary resolution. The resolution must specify the rate of discount which should not exceed the 10% of face value of the shares. The shares must be issued within 2 months from the date of sanction by the company law board. Now we'll see the journal entry for the shares issued at a discount. Discount on issue of shares account debit to share capital. So whenever we are going to journalize the transaction regarding the shares issued at a discount, that time we need to pass journal entry like shares issued at discount. Discount is an expenditure for a company now, or it will be a loss because they are issued less than the face value. So entry will be discount on issue of shares account debit to share capital account. This entry may be passed after having passed the entry for transfer of application money to share capital. In the earlier problem we have seen that we used to pass the share application money to share capital account. So after that entry we need to pass this entry. At the end of each year, reasonable amount of discount out of total discount is charged to profit and loss account, and the remaining balance of discount is shown on the asset side of the balance sheet under the heading miscellaneous expenditure and losses. It should be written off as early as possible, as we have seen that at the end of each year the reasonable amount of discount That means out of total discount, yearly total discount, some amount must be charged to profit and loss account, and some amount should be, or the balance should be shown to the asset side of the balance sheet as miscellaneous expenditure and losses. So it should be written off as early as possible. This is the procedure, accounting procedure for the shares issued at a discount. Now we are going to see a different one topic or point, that is forfeiture of shares. The directors of a company can forfeit the shares, and the amounts paid up on which the installment or installments are not paid up within the time allowed for payment. However, for forfeiture of shares, some condition must be followed. Forfeiture, that means the shares are going to be taken off. The conditions are: the company's articles must expressly implore the directors to forfeit the shares of the defaulters of payment of calls. Those defaulters who do not pay the calls or the allotment money due from them, those shares are going to be forfeited. The procedure given in the articles must be followed. There should be The procedure given in the articles must be followed. There should be a default by shareholder in the payment of a valid call, a 14 days notice of demand requiring the shareholder to pay calls on or before a specified date. The notice must expressly mention that shareholders' shares will be forfeited on failure to pay the specified amount on or before the specified date. The board of directors must pass a resolution for forfeiture of shares. So these conditions must be followed. 14 days notice is required to be sent. Now we are going to see the accounting procedure of entry. For the purpose of passing entry for forfeiture of shares, some of the points must be considered. As a result of forfeiture of shares, the original subscribed capital is reduced and hence share capital account is required to be debited. Some of the important points that you should remember, those are: the amount called up on shares is going to be forfeited. The amount unpaid on various calls including premium on these shares is to be taken into consideration, and the amount received on these shares is going to be taken into consideration. As a result, I am repeating that the forfeiture of shares, the original subscribed capital is going to be reduced and hence the share capital account is required to be debited. The journal entry for the procedure is share capital account debit. Share capital account is debited with the amount that is calculated as number of shares forfeited multiplied by called up amount per share till the date of forfeiture. I am repeating, for debiting share capital account, the amount is to be taken as number of shares forfeited multiplied by called up amount per share till the date of forfeiture. म्हणजेच फॉरफिचरच्या डेटपर्यंत जेवढे शेअर्स फॉरफिट करणार आहेत त्या शेअर्सवरची जी कॉल्डअप केलेली अमाऊंट आहे त्या अमाऊंटनी शेअर कॅपिटल अकाउंट डेबिट करायचं आहे. सो अमाऊंट इज नाउ गोइंग टू बी रेड्यूस. दॅट अमाऊंट इज टेकन. शेअर प्रीमियम अकाउंट. द अमाऊंट टू बी टेकन इन टू कन्सिडरेशन फॉर दिस एंट्री इज फॉर प्रीमियम पर्पज द प्रीमियम विच इज नॉट रिसिव्ड ऑन दीज शेअर्स. म्हणजे ज्या शेअर्सवरचा जेवढा प्रीमियम आलेला नाही आहे त्या अमाऊंटनी शेअर प्रीमियम अकाउंट डेबिट होईल. 2. फॉरफिटेड शेअर्स अकाउंट. To forfeited shares account, that means you have to take amount that is received excluding premium on these shares. म्हणजे अमाऊंट जी तुम्हाला मिळालेली आहे शेअर्सवरची ती तुम्ही इथं घ्यायची आहे टू फॉरफिटेड शेअर्स अकाउंटला. एक्सक्लुडिंग प्रीमियम म्हणजे इथं प्रीमियम घ्यायचा नाही आहे. टू शेअर्स अलॉटमेंट अकाउंट ऑर टू शेअर्स कॉल अकाउंट, इथं मात्र तुम्हाला जी अमाऊंट रिसीव झालेली नाही ती अमाऊंट घ्यायची आहे. टू शेअर्स अलॉटमेंट अकाउंट or to share call account. Okay, so today we have seen and discussed 2 points with the journal entry and accounting procedure. Those were shares issued at a discount and forfeiture of shares. In the next lecture, 2 more important points we are going to discuss, so stay connected. Those points are reissue of forfeited shares and pro rata allotment. After discussion of these 2 points, we are going to solve the important problems based on these adjustments. Thank you.